Welcome in, everybody, to episode number 11 here on the Big Blue Breakdown. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, whether you guys are on Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, or on YouTube. If you're on Spotify or, again, wherever you get your podcast, make sure to please follow and listen there. It means so much. And if you're here on YouTube, make sure to please like and subscribe. And, again, I'm willing to answer to any comments anybody wants to put in there about a game, a question, or anything. Thank you guys so much for all the supports on the last couple of episodes and all the episodes so far. Again, thank you guys so much, and please follow, like, subscribe, whatever. Today on episode 11 is a Vandy preview. In this one, we're going to be breaking down Vandy, talking about advantages for the Cats and disadvantages, 4 keys for a win for the Cats, my prediction, and then we're going to touch on Caleb Wilison because I don't think there should be much to go into, except it was just a weird recruitment and a weird thing with how his whole thing went. And you guys probably already know he ended up committing to the University of North Carolina instead of Kentucky. So I'll jump into that briefly at the end of this episode. But again, thank you guys so much for tuning in here. Let's go ahead and break down the Vanderbilt Commodores. All right. So leading the Vanderbilt Commodores right now in points is Jason Edwards. He's averaging 17.3 points a game. I believe he is a transfer from North Texas. This team is very much like the Cats, especially from the offseason. New head coach, and then bringing in a ton of transfers to fill this roster. And they have done a magnificent job at filling this roster. This team is right now currently 15-4 overall, and I believe they are. They would be 3-2 in conference play, if I'm getting that right. Let's see here. Let's go to their schedule. They're 9th currently in the SEC. Had a really good non-conference. Now they lost to Drake, but they beat Seton Hall, Nevada, Cal. Just some better names here. But they lost to Drake 81-70, which was their lone loss out of conference play. Now, entering conference play, they lose to number 14 Mississippi State at home, 76-64, and then they also lose to Missouri at Missouri, 75-66. They pull off 2 wins in a row. South Carolina at home, 66-63. And in the big one, everybody should know, they beat number 6 Tennessee, 76-75. Their previous game during the week, I think it was on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. They go on the road to Alabama and lose 103-87. So they are 2-3. Excuse me, not 3-2. They are 2-3. 3-3, excuse me. I'm messing this all up here. Yeah, with the win over LSU to start the SEC slate, a win at LSU 80-72. So they are 3-3 in conference play. They have played one more game, the Cats, with Kentucky having not playing a game in the middle of this week. So on KenPom, I come here to look at all the rankings, basically their offensive efficiency and defense efficiency. So right now, overall, the Vanderbilt Commodores are sitting at, again, 15-4 and 47th in KenPom. Now, Kentucky sits at 19th right now, which is actually a lot different compared to like AP, ESPN, all their polls. Just a lot different. Now, this is a computer-based thing. I like to come here for all the stats and stuff. But Vanderbilt is sitting at 47th overall. Now, they are an offensive adjusted efficiency. They're sitting at 39th, which is pretty good. And then defensively, they're sitting at 72. Now, this team defensively is a really good team at causing turnovers. they're really good at turning over teams. You've seen it in the Alabama game, and you've seen it in the Tennessee game. I believe they average like they turn people over about 9 times a game, which is a lot. So they're sitting at 47th in KenPom with 39th adjusted offensive rate and number 72 defensive adjusted rating defensively. Now Kentucky sits at 19th with the 3rd overall offense adjusted offensive efficiency and 80th. That's what we really have to be better at. Sitting at 80 in overall defensive adjusted efficiency. So, jumping into this team, just like deeper into this team here. Again, this team is very good. Now, the thing that what most people look at right now, and I'm going to get into everything like disadvantages or advantages for the Cats later, which would be disadvantages for the Commodores. They only have excuse me. They only have 2 quad 1 wins, and one of them coming from that Tennessee game. I'm not sure where the other one came from, but their competition in the non-con wasn't really there. Now they're going to have plenty of chances to build that resume. Now I think they sit. I did my bracketology this week. I believe they were on the bubble or a 10 or 11 seed. They were either on the bubble or a 10. I think a 10 seed. I think a 10 seed is where they were sitting at, if I am not mistaken. I can go back and check that. But right now, they are most definitely in running for a tournament, to be in the tournament. Right now, I think if we were to start the tournament today, they would definitely be in the NCAA tournament. So, breaking down some of their statistics here. Jason Edwards averaging 17.3 a game. Leading the team. This is team leader stats here. Rebounds, Devin McLaughlin averaging 8.2 rebounds. Assist goes to AJ Hogard. Steals per game, 2.2 for Tyler Tanner. And blocks per game, 1.4 again for Devin McLaughlin. This team is kind of like Kentucky in the sense they like to get up and down the floor. This is going to be a very, very fast-paced game, and in my opinion, that's going to play right into Kentucky's hand, and I'll get to reasons that later, why I really like this matchup against Vandy, but also Vandy can very much exploit some of Kentucky's issues, especially on the defensive end of the floor. Now this team for Vandy, very well experienced. You can see the guards. I think Jason Edwards here he's a junior out of Atlanta, Georgia. And then you got AJ Hogard, who spent 4 seasons at Michigan State. That was a very big pickup for the Vanderbilt Commodores. He's averaging 11.1 points a game. Very experienced backcourt player right there. Now, Devin McLaughlin, 10.7 points for him. He's really going to be my X factor in this one because this team really doesn't have any height. This team really doesn't. Their tallest player, I think, in all their rotation is 6'7". And that is Devin McLaughlin and maybe Tyler Nichols, if I'm not... No, yeah, he is 6'7". Yeah, Tyler Nichols is 6'7". Kentucky was actually looking at this guy coming out of the portal. 6'7", transfer from Virginia Tech, a junior. He is averaging 10.6 points a game. So, they don't have a lot of height. Now, Devin McLaughlin plays a lot bigger than his height. He's basically their center. There was a quote, I believe, coming into this year that this team, the head coach wants this team to basically be all guards. They're all listed as guards, which is kind of funny to think about as I am typing something in here. But again, this team is very undersized, which I think can be a very big thing for the Cats to take advantage of, which I'll get into advantages here with Andrew Carr and Amari Williams being the centerpieces around that advantage point for the Cats. Talking a little bit more here about this team, Mark Byington. Mark Byington is the head coach of the Vanderbilt Commodores. He originally was at JMU, was a 12 seed last year, and made it into the round of 32. I believe they went like 32-4 last year, something insane like that. This guy coming in, having a phenomenal first year for the Vanderbilt Commodores. Especially when, just like Kentucky, like, you gotta basically throw a team not throw a team together, but it's very hard to have a lot of time to really have a thought process. Yeah, who am I gonna bring in? This guy brought in the right guys and is competing in the SEC at a very high level, especially the last couple of weeks, even with competing on the road against Alabama. Maybe the score doesn't necessarily show that, but man, were they competing and knocking off number 6 Tennessee and then taking care of business against a team like LSU. This team is very good, guys. This team is a tournament team. This is another quad 1 opportunity for the Cats to take advantage of here. Now for this Vandy team, diving into them just a little bit more. They do have a 12-man rotation, just like the Cats. But Mark Byington is a winner. He at JMU, James Madison, 12 seed last year in the tournament, made it further than the Cats did last year. If that's saying anything, and Nashville is gonna be a hot place. Going to Memorial Gym, I believe, if that's right, Memorial Gym. It's an awkward place to play because where the benches are at, it's just really weird. But the thing for the Cats is Kentucky has really shown out to these games, especially in Nashville. And in the SEC tournament, you see that as well. But I think this year, yes, you're going to see a lot of blue. You're going to see a lot of blue just like every year. But I believe you're also going to see a lot more of these Vandy fans, as this team is very good. And they're probably going to be a lot more optimistic with this team coming in here, knocking off Tennessee the last time they were playing at home. So, talking about this team a little bit more, again, they are very good at turning you over. They have really good experience. They're very undersized, though. Very undersized. This team plays with a lot of tempo, moving up and down the floor. Now, they like to get to the basket a lot. Now, I think they're a tad bit better 3-point shooting team than the Alabama Crimson Tide, but they don't rely on the three nearly as much as Kentucky. And Alabama do. So this team again likes to get to the free throw line. So that's going to be probably one of my keys, is stay out of foul trouble. But this team is very good, very solid all the way around, and they have the potential to beat anybody. You've seen it. They beat Tennessee. Now Tennessee, I think, is a little bit. I don't want to say they're not as good as represented like in the AP poll or anything like that, but I do think that they are a little bit fraudulent, especially going into the tournament where they haven't had that much success. That's just my opinion on this team right now. Now talking, I want to get to this team's like team stats here. Let me look this up here. As I am looking this up here, if if you guys want to, put your guys's um, score predictions in the comments. I think I'm gonna try to set a poll for this game here in the thing, so you guys can do it. But put in the comments, who do you guys think is going to win this game, and what is your score prediction looking like when the Cats head on the road to Memorial Gym tomorrow at 2:30 to take on the Vanderbilt Commodores. It's going to be a very good game because this game has a lot different feel, because usually when we're playing Vandy, the last couple of years, it has been like not very much meaning to this game, but this team is legit. This team is a legit tournament team. It's going to mean a lot in this one. Now, bringing up their team stats here, I kind of want to dive into that, and then I will dive into the advantages and disadvantages that the Cats have in this one. So looking at the Commodores team stats here, again, led by Jason Edwards. Defensively, they're a pretty solid team. Now, they have really struggled in the SEC games so far defensively. This team is pretty solid offensively overall for this team. This team is pretty solid overall, excuse me. But defensively is where they have struggled. There is a stat, I believe, out there that this team is they're in like top 30 or something in pick and roll action, and Kentucky is like in the 200s. So that's something to note in this one. So that's something to really keep your eye on with AJ Hogard, and if I'm missing his name here, I gotta get these players' names down here. And McLaughlin, there we go. And McLaughlin. I'm not like overly like shocked by this team or anything. I've watched a little bit on them. They have a lot of fight to them. I think Mark has this team very bought in to what he is doing and what they're trying to accomplish. This team is a tournament team. They're led by senior guards. They're led by a lot of experience, right? This team really likes to get going to the basket. This team likes to get to the free throw line. Okay, they don't necessarily rely on the three a lot, but they can knock it down, and they have a pretty solid percentage at knocking the three down. So, let me get into my keys here. My advantages. Kentucky's advantage is going to be their height in the paint, especially. Their height in the paint is going to be a huge advantage, with Andrew Carr standing at 6'11", and so is Amari Williams. You see Brandon Garrison at 6'10" in this one. You can also see guys like maybe like Ansley Almanor's taking some control, sitting at 6'7" as well, being able to really match up against those guys. But that's a big one for me. And then another advantage I think Kentucky has here is the tempo is going to be played in the favor of the Cats. This Vandy team, it's not like them to slow the pace down. They want to go fast all the time. And I think that the Cats can really take advantage of this in this game and play to their strengths. Play to their strength at just going up and down the floor. Now some disadvantages I don't like in this game is that this Vanderbilt team can turn you over a lot. And then once they turn you over, that's when they can take advantage of you in pushing it down the floor in transition. So that's obviously a disadvantage. I don't, except for maybe home court advantage, I don't really see where this team can beat us up, except for one more thing. It's the biggest thing here. It's pick and roll. This team definitely has a bigger advantage on the Cats in pick and roll action. We got to be able to take care of that. That's going to be a major factor in this game if the Cats are going to pull off a win in Memorial Gym. So, 4 keys for the Cats to win this one. To me, it's gonna be can we control the paint with our size? Now they definitely have some beef to McLaughlin. This guy definitely plays above his height, but he has the body to do it. He can bang with Amari and Andrew inside, but their height, I think, is really where the Cats can take an advantage here in this one. So I'm gonna put that as number 1. 4 keys is take advantage in the paint. Take advantage in the paint. And teams have shot very, very well inside the paint percentage-wise against this Vanderbilt team. I believe Alabama shot like in the 60s against this Vandy team. So I think that's a really big thing to look at. Efficient shooting in the paint. So take control of the paint here in this one. I just want to see like Amari just like go off. Wouldn't it be big just to see Amari go off, have like 25 points in this one, just be dominant, which I think he can be. Number 2 is going to be protect the rim. Because this team does not rely on the 3, they really like to take to the basket. We got to be able to protect the rim, just keep them out of the lane. And I think one big matchup in this one is going to be whether Lamont Butler is going to be on AJ Hogard or their leading scorer. I just keep forgetting their names. Their leading scorer or, Jason Edwards. So I think I like the matchup, whoever he is on. Like Otega, I think, can guard whoever Lamont is not guarding, and I really like that advantage right there. So I'm going to say keep them out, protect the rim, and I think that really starts with on the outside, not letting them get inside the paint. And then once they get inside the paint, obviously it's up to the big men. So I like our size against this team as well. Again, so protect the rim. Number 3 for me here is gonna be. I'm gonna keep doing it. I know I'm doing a little bit different here, but there's one that I like, and I'm gonna keep saying it here. It's gonna be hit 10 threes. Hit 10 threes for the Cats. Hit 10 threes. I think we're very, very good when we hit 10 threes. That's 30 points right there. And I think with our advantage in the paint, we can if we hit our threes, I think most of our points are going to come from inside the paint. So my final point here is going to be I'm kind of mixing between the two here, and it's going to be control the glass, but I already have, take control of the paint, protect the rim, which kind of, I think take control of the paint, you can kind of throw that in there with controlling the glass. So for me, I'm going to go with slow down their ball screen offense. Slow down their ball screen offense. I think that can be really big for the Cats to win this one. And I think the Cats should win this one. If you look at it, I think if you look up just Kentucky versus Vandy, I think the matchup predictor has like a 55% chance to win. And I think KenPom has us winning this game by 2, like 85-83 if I'm not mistaken. I think we can win more by that because I really like the way Vandy plays into our favor in this one, and I can really see that really affecting this Vanderbilt team, especially down the stretch. So, to me, I like it. I like it a lot. Again, because of the pace of play. But tomorrow, 2:30, the 14-4 Cats take on the 15-4 Vanderbilt Commodores at Memorial Gym. Yeah, I think it's a 54% chance that we win. I like it. I really do. Again, we have the height advantage. We have, I think, them trying to push it is going to be in our favor. I really like it for the Cats. So I'm going to give my prediction here. I'm going to go with the Cats winning this one. Let's see here. Man, this is hard. Because I think we can slow them down offensively. So I'm gonna go with the Cats win with a margin of, I think we win by 10. I'm gonna go double digits here. I'm gonna go a little bit bold here. Cats win by 10, and we win 88-78. And I really like that because I think we can hold them there, and I like our ability to be able to score on this team. So I'm going to go 88-78. The Cats take the victory over the Vanderbilt Commodores. Last thing here on episode number 11. Thank you guys so much for tuning in here. But I'm going to touch on Caleb Wilison. Now, Caleb Wilison, the 6'9" power forward, commits to the University of North Carolina at 2 a.m. last night, it was just a weird recruitment. It felt like forever. Like, when is this guy gonna recruit? The five-star commit, really big, really physical guy that Kentucky can use, especially after this season with us not really having that presence. This is why I'm just touching on it. He's very much replaceable. Now, his talent may not be replaceable, but I think his physicality and such can be replaced. It's just a very weird thing what happened. I think UNC offered a bigger bag, and I think that's what he went for. I think he also wanted to be a number one option, that's right, what I've been hearing. Just weird how that played out. But, just wanted to touch that. So that's really our first recruiting loss. But I think it's very much replaceable. There's other guys that the Cats are looking at, and we already have a great class, and the transfer portal is there. So I don't think this is a end-all be-all with him not coming to the Cats. But thank you guys so much for joining in here to episode number 11 on the podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment if you're on YouTube, and follow if you're on Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Now, if you guys are still listening, make sure to go check out the social media at BigBlue_Breakdown on TikTok, X, and Instagram. You can go follow us there. X is going to be like our updates and live games, and then TikTok and Instagram is going to be posting all the episodes, maybe clips and stuff like that. But again, thank you guys so much for tuning in here, and as always, go Cats.